Now, at the bottom of the pole, of the totem pole, or the bottom of the spectrum of energy, is this thing called fear. F-E-A-R. Fear feels so bad. Why? Because it's at the bottom, at the lower end of the spectrum in terms of vibration, and that's why it feels so unpleasant. Fear is a primary emotion. Now, so let me just go through the primary emotions real quick, starting from the least to the greatest. So the bottom one is fear. Next is sadness. The next is anger, surprise, joy, and love. Again, fear, sadness, anger, surprise, joy, and love. Those are the core emotions. Let's talk about fear for a second, because that's at the bottom. Now, what does fear branch off into? Fear branches off into a lot of what I call secondary emotions. And fear is in horror, nervousness, blame, judgment, depression, revenge. These are all fear-based emotions. They're core fear-based emotions. Again, horror, nervousness, blame, judgment, depression, and revenge. Those are the emotions of which fear thrives in. Now, if you think about what emotions are, as I mentioned before, how it's energy, the reason you feel in fear is because there's nothing wrong with feeling fear, right? It's an emotion. It's supposed to pass through you. But if you don't let that emotion go, it can stick around and hang out in your body in the form of depression. So what is depression? It's just what it says. You're holding on to something that scared you or hurt you and caused you pain, and you don't know how to let go of it. And because you hold on to it for so long, it robs you of the life that you can experience. And that's why they call it depression. You are depressed. You're holding on. You don't feel it. You hold it in so much that you don't even feel it anymore. You compress and depress the energy so that you can't let it go. A person who's depressed, it's difficult for them to hold their head up high and walk with their chest out and feel delicious and wonderful about life. A person who's depressed hardly ever smiles. And if they smile, it doesn't last because there's so much pain behind the depression. And they've been that way for so long. They condition their whole body to be depressed. And depression shows up in lots of symptomatic ways in your body. You're not healthy, physically healthy. It can rob you of the vital functions of your body, your heart. You have heartaches because depression harbors there. It makes you not have courage because, again, remember, the energy is depressed and you can't let go of it. Revenge is a kind of fear. Revenge is like, I'm going to pay that sucker back. Let's go back to the example of my ex-husband in the car with that woman. I could have been so angry in the moment that I'm going to get that Negro because I'm having all these flashbacks and memories about how he did me wrong, how he cheated on me and had a baby by another woman. I mean, I can be revengeful and do what I can go slash his tire whenever he parks the car. And I can do all kinds of crazy things. I can, what can I do? I can put a big scratch mark on his car because I'm angry. I'm angry because he did me wrong again, right? So I'm taking revenge. I'm paying him back for the pain that he caused me. Okay? But I'm doing that not from a place of love. I'm doing it from a place of fear. Why? Because I'm being revengeful. Okay? So that's the lowest part of the energy. The next one up from fear is called sadness. That's a core emotion, a primary emotion. What does sadness look like? How does sadness manifest itself in the realm of secondary emotions? It shows up as suffering. It can be physical suffering and also mental suffering. Everything is mental anyways. It translates into your body. It's sadness. It's disappointment. Disappointment is sadness. When somebody disappoints you, you're not happy, are you? You're sad, aren't you? When you feel disappointed, aren't you sad? Yes. Shame is also in the realm of sadness. You're not happy when you're shameful or you feel shame. Neglect makes you sad. Sympathy also makes you sad. And we're big on sending sympathy cards when someone dies or passes. I contend that people don't need your sympathy. They don't need you to feel bad for them. They feel bad enough by themselves. I understand why you send sympathy cards, but that doesn't make people feel good. How can you make somebody feel good when they lost a loved one, when a loved one is passed? The answer is you can't. That's an emotion that they have to process themselves. The most you can do is be there for them, to encourage them, to give them a hug if they let you hug them. But for God's sake, you don't need your sympathy. Okay? I know we're not taught that. So it doesn't help the person. It doesn't help you or help them for them to keep feeling bad. So don't feel bad for them. Just encourage them and just be there. Sometimes it's your physical presence. Encourage another person that, this too will pass, that death is a part of life. I know they're sad that a loved one is gone, but you can experience your loved one anytime and any place. They may be gone for you physically, but spiritually they're still there with you if you want them to be. You can always connect with them. That's another whole class dealing with sympathy. The next level up from sadness is this thing called anger. Now, is it better to be fearful or is it better to be angry? It's better to be angry because anger is an expression of your discontentment. What does anger look like? Irritability is anger. Exasperation. I'm so exasperated. Rage, disgust, envy, torment. Impatience is always is a subcategory of being angry. Is it better to be angry than depressed? Yes, because at least when you're angry, you're getting some of your power back. But the problem with people who are depressed in general and them being angry is that they don't live there. They can't stay the anger long because it oftentimes is not controllable. They don't know how to control it. And it upsets people when they're angry like that. They're so used to the person being depressed, they'd rather you be depressed than be angry. But that's not helping you either. It's better to be angry. At least you're trying to get your voice out and say, what the hell? I don't want to feel this way. I'm tired of feeling this way. That's better than accepting the feeling of being depressed or the feeling of being revengeful or having blame or self-judgment. Okay? The next level up from that is surprise. Surprise is better than being angry. It's better than being sad. It's better than being fearful. Surprise. Different things surprises different people. Okay? When I was coming up, I used to say I hate surprises. Well, I should have qualified that and said I don't like bad surprises. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me feel bad. But good surprises like a birthday present or I got a nice gift or I got something I wasn't expecting. To be surprised like that, that's a good thing. That's exciting. Okay? What else is about being surprised? Oh, the next one up is joy. Oh, we love joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. What is the joy of the Lord? The joy of the Lord consists of cheerfulness. Okay? It's about zest. It's about energy. And by the way, the energy is moving in a higher frequency, and so you feel better. You feel better being joyful than you do feeling angry or surprised, right? What else is in joy? Pride is in that category of being joyful. Optimistic, being enthralled or filled with enthusiasm. Joy also, relief also feels like joy. To be relieved, to feel like this is over. Like when I'm in my middle of my finals for my first summer session, I'm gonna feel relieved when that's over with. Okay, it's like I'm gonna feel real good. I'm gonna be joyful. Oh, it's behind me, right? And I'll feel even more delicious if I get an A. So that really made me feel great to get an A on my exams. So joy is a wonderful thing. The joy of the Lord is your strength. There's strength in being joyful. Something about being joyful that helps keep the bad feelings away. It keeps sadness away. If you're joyful, you don't have time to be angry because it just feels good. Okay? At the top of the list of all the primary emotions is this emotion called love. Oh my God. There's so many different kinds of love. Okay? There's love for your sister or your brother called family love. There's love for your lover or your husband or your mate. That's emotional love, eros, or sexual love. The union of getting together with the loved one feels so good. I tell people the reason sex feels so good when it's between individuals who are mutually consenting and they love and respect each other, that God gave us that emotion because he wanted us to understand what it felt like when he did creation. Creation of the universe and of mankind, well, to me was a sexual thing, because the energy of creation God put in us through the expression of sex. So the thing that the church beats us up about so much about sex is meant to be a beautiful thing. Sex is meant to be something that's done and performed between loving individuals, people who have respect for each other and honor each other and would do no harm to each other. That's the way sexual love really is supposed to be expressed between two individuals. So, but love consists of affection. They put lust in the category. Lust is loving. Lust is not having an emotional control over your feeling of sex. That's what lust is. And remember, your emotions are not supposed to be something that control you. You are supposed to control it. Okay? You feel lusty towards somebody, well, you're out of order. Why? Because you don't have that in check. You're looking at it in the wrong way. You're looking at it from a place of neediness. And love doesn't come from, true love never comes from a place of neediness. Love always comes from a place of well-being and a place of contentment and a place of, self-assurance. If your love comes from a place of neediness, that's not healthy and that's not good. It doesn't help you or the other person. It's almost like when I was coming up in school, I was, guys would say, oh, I need to be loved. I'm like, well, then that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? You need to be loved, then you need to go handle that, bro, man, because that's not my department. So it's better to, I know, right? I love a person because I want to love and I feel good about loving a person. But I never let myself get in a position anymore where I feel like I need to be loved by somebody. You understand? I love Vivian C. Hardison. I love the skin I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I have gotten to the point in my life I can do and be and have anything I want. If I want to change my hair color, which I did, I did it because I wanted to do that. Not because of anybody else or I had a need to. No, it's because I want to. And I can't tell you how liberating that is to finally be in a place in my skin where I can feel good in being in my skin and do what I want to do because I want to, not because I feel like I have to. So I'm going to stop in a second so you can talk. Also, a part of loving comes this place of longing. It's like you want to share your good feelings. I want to share the love I have with the world. I want everybody to experience the joy of the Lord. I want people to experience the joy of love and being, not just the joy of loving other people, but the joy of being loved by somebody else. You understand? And a lot of women, I say African American women in particular, we don't know how to receive love. We push away people who just want to love us just because. No strings attached, just love us. We think if a guy come to us, because this is our training, because this is also my training, guy who just want to do some nice thing for us, we think, oh, he's up to something. What does he want? He don't want anything. He just want to be nice to you. Let people be kind to you, okay? But if you feel obligated to respond back, then you need to get yourself in check. Because if somebody just want to give you something for the sake of sharing what they have or just sharing some love for you, that's a beautiful thing. Just say thank you with an attitude of gratitude and keep it moving. Okay? And that's something we get tricked into or we get deceived by. And it's interesting because when I used to, when I was in church, I remember, sitting in the morning, I sit in the pews and I get beat up all during the sermon because I'm such a bad person. I'm a sinner, hello. And I need to repent and get and be forgiven of my sins, right? So I go and I repent. Now it's time to give. I mean, like, really? It's like, first you beat the crap out of me spiritually, right? And now I'm supposed to feel so delicious and wonderful. I've been forgiven of my sins. So now let's take up some money because you feel good. I mean, like, that to me was a little bit of an abuse of this whole concept of helping people to feel good about who they are in their skin. Yes, there are things in my life I needed to take care of, but but that's my responsibility to get myself in a right relationship with God, okay? And I learned over time that God is not one who beats me up. I beat myself up, and I let other people beat me up for the things when I get off the right track. But we have a loving Father. And as a loving Father, He's always there for us with open arms, ready to receive us and welcome us back into His loving presence. Okay? I heard from this guy named Michael Beckwith. He used the word help. Lord, help me. And help, H-E-L-P, stands for hello, eternal, loving presence. Hello, eternal, loving presence. Hello, eternal, loving presence. That's a way of inviting love and God into your life, the Spirit back into your life, so you can live life deliciously and wonderfully.